Hi lovelies, it is Fly Girl VSG coming into you with your move of the week number 2. And I actually have a couple moves to show you today. So they are working the same area, but also another one that's working the opposite side. I learned something valuable not too long ago. I was doing some physical therapy related to my shoulder, and I was like, gosh, my knees are getting really crunchy when I'm doing squats. And the trainer was like, or the physical therapist was like, well, are you working your hamstrings? No. So I find that if I'm working my hamstrings at an equal rate that I'm working my quads, that I have less crunchy knees. Today, my hamstrings are really tight because I did a lot of yard work and hiking this weekend, so my knees are crunchy, but I don't think you'll be able to hear them, so it should be fine. So today I'm going to show you a couple different squat moves. We'll see how it turns out. It's very dark and rainy here, so the lighting is not that good. But here's the moves I'm going to be showing you. This is actually a squat challenge I did a while ago. It's from Pop Sugar Fitness. So you can find this squat challenge online. It has all the different days. I have things marked on it, but all the different reps and things to do. So this is what I'm going to show you, these different types of squats right here, starting here and going down. And then I'll show you a very simple move that you can use to both stretch and work your hamstrings. I would recommend doing some things at home or at the gym also, but I'm going to move this down a little bit because I'm going to cheat a couple times and use this chair, both for the hamstrings and for the squats. So really you're going to have a couple moves of the week, like 3. So to start, the thing you want to remember about squats is that you don't want your knees to go over your toes. You want your knees, they can go a little slightly forward over your ankles, but you don't want them to go over your toes. You want to keep your core tight, and you want to, as you come up on a squat, you want to squeeze your butt. So, a lot of people, they go up and down and they go very quickly, but really you should be taking your time on a squat. And at the top, you should take a second and squeeze your glutes together and really think about the areas that you're working. Pay attention to how your quads feel and how your glutes feel. Also, you don't need to go very low in a squat. You can work a squat and work high. I have really crunchy knees, so I can't do a squat that's, all the way down like this. I tend to stay up higher, just to show you what that looks like. As soon as I get down, my knees start to crunch a little bit. Well, hello. All right, so I'm going to show you the first one. It's called a narrow squat. The second one is a narrow squat with back kick. And so hopefully you guys can hear me because I turned the volume up. I got a complaint on my Thursday video that you couldn't be heard, but I was having so many problems when I first got this laptop with sound. I turned the volume down, and I think it's fine. I can hear it fine. So if you're watching this and can't hear it, I'm sorry. I don't think it's me. But I turned the volume up, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay, and I'm not screaming at you. So before I actually show you the narrow squat, I'm going to show you the basic squat, and we'll get into that in a minute. But you want to stand hip width apart, and you want to squeeze your belly and squeeze your butt and go down. And I'm going to show you this from the side too. So from here, my knees are still in line with my hips. They're not out here. They're not pulled together. They are still in line with my hips. And my knees are over my ankles, but they are not over my toes. So let me show you that from the side so you guys can get a good picture. Okay? So basically it's like you're just sitting down in a chair. So if you need help, if you don't have a lot of squats or you haven't done a lot of squats, you can take a workout bench or a chair at home or a kitchen chair. I wouldn't recommend taking a couch. I'm just doing that because it's here. And you can practice by just barely touching. Again, you keep your core tight, and you just barely touch your butt to the thing, and then you drive up, right? You drive up, and then you squeeze those glutes. So that's the basic squat. So the narrow stance squat is actually where you stand and your feet are touching. So everything here is squeezed tight together. And I'm not praying, by the way, but you want to keep your hands, like, kind of roll your shoulders back, pull your abs in, and hold your hands in front of you. This just helps. Well, I don't really know what it helps, but that's just how I do it. It helps keep good posture in a position. So then you just go down. So it's the same thing. Your back is flat. I'll show you this from the side. Back is flat. Knees are slightly over the ankles, not over the toes. You're sitting, and then you just drive up. squeeze. Tight. Yeah? So you do that. And then you can do, so I do each one of these 10 times 2 sets. And I do it about twice a week. So the second one is with a kickback. So you go down, and as you come up, you just slowly lift. So it really should be stemming from the glute. You should not be swinging your back leg back. You lift, and you should feel it from your butt. You don't have to go high. You don't want to arch your back. I should be wearing a tighter shirt, but you want to do just a lift. And then you kind of rotate. You take turns. So you go down, go up, next leg. See, I'm not going very high. You don't want to arch. You don't want to do this. You want to stay in really good alignment. So go down and switch legs. And again, that's only 5 on each side, and I'll show you this from the front. So you go down and you switch legs. I have to do these in the mirror because I try to keep my foot straight because it tends to go out like this. It doesn't really matter, but I try to keep it straight. You go down. My heart rate's getting a little high, you guys. Oh, let's get a little pop in there. All right, so those are the first 2. The third and fourth one are just basic squats. The first one is you do your basic squat. Again, I'll show you that. I showed you in the beginning what it looks like. So you go down. You don't have to hold these, by the way. I'm just showing you. Although if you hold them, trust me, it works your muscles. It really does. Abs tight. Everything in line. Hips. Drive up. Squeeze. Down. Squeeze. Down. And also, if you can't even go this far down, go this far down. It's okay. You're working those muscles. Do as much as you can. Now, the thing with these is the second, so that's the third one. The fourth one is a basic squat. You go down, and you want to make sure that you're balanced and stable. And then you lift your side leg. You keep your foot still in line forward, and you don't do this. You don't swing it. You do a gentle lift. It should stem right here from this hip, from this IT. I think that's what it's called, the IT band. Should stem. So basically, this is what this looks like. Squat, lift, squat, squeeze, lift, squat, squeeze, lift. So you'll see I'm staying straight. I'm still strong. Squat, lift. Gentle lift. No swinging, no arching, none of that. Okay, so the fifth one is actually a sumo squat. So you take your stance wide, your toes are out in a V, you squeeze, make sure your hips are rotating, you're not swaying. Let me show you this from the side. You're not doing this. You're not doing this, okay? You're keeping everything tight, and you're going down. Okay? So your knees over here, again, they shouldn't go past your toes, but they are going in line with your toes. So you just go down and squeeze at the top. Stay tight, squeeze at the top. I'll show you this from the side again. Down, squeeze from the top. And then you do this 10 times. Well, if you get this Pop Fitness Challenge, here, let me show this to you again. It'll tell you how many to do. I mean, you start with 6 reps of each. You start with 6 reps of each, and you end 30 days later at 10 reps of each times 4. Ooh, I should be doing that because I do 2 reps. I do 10 reps times 2 circuits, and I should be doing 3 or 4. So I don't want to make this a long video. We're already at 10 minutes. So I'm just going to show you 2 quick hamstring things that you can do to balance out. So if you're working the front of if you're working this area here, you want to also be sure to work this area here, these hamstrings. Oh my God, mine are so tight. Okay. So one of the easy ones that I do at the gym, people look at me crazy, but I don't care, is you have hip widths apart. You don't lock your knees. Your knees are straight, but they're not locked, okay? So there's a slight bend in them. You kind of do a prisoner thing, right? Tuck tight, and you just lean forward. And keep your head in line with your spine. Or look somewhere kind of in the ground in front of you here. You don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be doing this. You want to keep in line. And that's it. These are called, I think, Greet the Days or Morning Glories or something like that. So let me show you this from the side. My hammy are really tight from all the bending over and yard work I did. So I'm not as flexible as usual, but you just stand tall, keep tight, glutes are tight, abs are tight, and you bend forward. Okay, you don't want to sway, you don't want to bend, you want to keep your spine totally straight. Okay? So this will help stretch and strengthen those. You'd be surprised how much work those do. So here's another thing. I'm going to get on the floor. If you guys have an athletic ball, or you can do this with a chair. I do this at home on the sofa. I just do this at night. So I'm just laying here, and I just lift up. That's it. You just have your hips a little, like, hip width apart, and you just lift like a bridge. But it's supported because your feet are up. Now this is much easier than if you were to do it on an athletic ball. I would say do it on something static before you do it on an athletic ball. And here again, you want to squeeze through the glutes. Sorry if you can't see my face, but you can see my hammies, and that's what matters. I would do it on a chair. I would do it here. I would do it if you're at the gym. You can set up a step with, the stair stepper that you do in aerobics classes or whatever. You just want the height to be, so your legs are at a 90-degree angle. As you can see, they were in this situation here. My hamstrings were at a 90-degree, and then I was lifting from there. If you use an athletic ball, that is definitely a step ahead, because not only are you dealing with the hamstrings, but you're also dealing with a lot of ab work, trying to keep balanced from losing the ball. It's actually really, really hard. This is too easy for me, but the ball is actually pretty hard for me. A third step would be to take the ball and move it in and out, instead of just going up and down. I'll show you that another time. I have a ball, but it needs to be inflated a little bit. So those are the moves of the week. Squats, hamstrings. If you're going to work one, work the other. Make sure it's even. Hit both sides of those legs. Those are huge muscle groups. Really good thing to be building. Again, Pop Sugar Fitness says to do it every day. Actually, that's not true. They have a couple rest days in here, like one a week or one every 5 days or so. I only do squats about twice a week, and I do them in conjunction with my balance exercises, which is what is coming next week. Lots of good stuff with balance, so keep an eye out there for it. Have a great Monday. Happy Monday. Practice your moves of the week. Let me know what you think, and have a good week. And keep it fly out there. Bye, guys.